Greetings, everyone. I am pleased to extend a warm welcome to you for our fourth session of the Spring 360 Road to Home Ownership series, hosted by the City of Houston Housing and Community Development Department. I am Latasha Smith, and I am the Community Involvement Coordinator for the Communication and Outreach Division. HCD is dedicated in assisting community members in navigating the complex home buying process more effectively. Tonight, we will continue and finish our series with session 4, housing tune-ups, maintenance, and care after home ownership. We have some awesome panelists tonight. This evening's discussion will be a little bit different and the format will be a little bit different. So I just want you to know that we have 3 awesome speakers that will come to you regarding housing tune-ups, what you need to do for maintenance care and care after ownership. First, I would like to announce a few housekeeping matters. First, please ensure that the audio is kept muted for the duration of the presentation. We will let you know when you can release your mute button and ask your question, or if we're engaging in conversation, you're more than welcome to unmute yourself at that time as well. Next, kindly submit any questions in the chat box function, and all our presenters at that time will address those questions. Last but not least, please be informed that this event is being recorded. The recording and the presentations will be accessible to all participants post event. Many of you have messaged me or emailed me regarding the session 1, 2, and 3. If you missed any of those, and 4, we're in the process of making sure that those are available to you and will be going out to you through email. So please make sure you stay tuned to your email for those sessions as well as tonight's session. Now we're going to move forward to our agenda. Now I bring up to you Dejanay Jones, our community liaison. For tonight's agenda, we will begin with the introduction of the director and outreach staff. Then we will have a mini commercial for our fair housing department. Then we will introduce our guest presenters for tonight. They will come from Mitchell's Realty, Warriors Electric Incorporated, and Certified Comfort AC and Heating Services. Then we will have our upcoming events and then our final remarks. Sorry about the technical difficulties. Thank you, Deja. We're still having a few issues, but we'll just proceed on. Now we will have our fair housing hotline. No, we will have our introduction to our director and outreach staff. Now I introduce to you our interim director, Mr. Mike Nichols. He is our new interim director. You will see more of him, and please stay tuned to our Facebook page because you will see more about him and the new things that our department is doing. Also, our outreach staff consists of our division administrative manager, Miss Onika Porter, Latasha Smith, of course, myself. I am the community involvement coordinator, and who you heard prior, Dejanay Jones, which is our community liaison. Now we will have our fair housing mini commercial.
The Fair Housing Act prohibits housing discrimination based on race, color, national origin, religion, sex, disability, and familiar status. If a landlord refuses to rent to you because of your service animal, the language you speak, or the color of your skin, you may have been a victim of housing discrimination. If you feel that you have been discriminated against, call the Department of Housing and Urban Development at 1-800-669-0777. Want to learn more about fair housing rights? Call the Fair Housing Hotline at 832-394-6240.
All right. Now we are up to our special guest for tonight. Like I stated earlier, the format for tonight's event is a little bit different than if you attended 1, 2, or 3. We're going to begin with a presentation. However, we're going to have questions and answers for the remaining part of this event. So that is why I want you to be engaged. I want you to ask questions because they have the information that you need to know. So I'm going to go through the whole panel, and then I will bring up our first presenter. Our first panelist for tonight is Lisa Diaz. Some of you probably seen her face before because she is one of the major, she is our go-to person, go-to realtor. She has been part of the this series from the beginning. She has so much information for you all tonight, and I'm just honored to have her back tonight. She is with Mitchell's Realty, and she will be our first presenter, but I'm gonna go ahead and go through our other presenters for tonight. The next one is Patrick Watkins. He's the project manager for Warriors Electric Incorporated, has many years of experience of being an electrician. He's going to be giving you information about what you need to know about your home regarding having an electrician, insurance, warranties, different information that you should know. Last but not least, I have Mr. Marvin Watts Sr. He's also the owner of Certified Comfort AC and Heating Services. He is the owner and the founder, and he has some great information as well. I am so excited because all of them has been a part of this series from the conception of it, and I'm just honored to have them back one more time. Like I said before, we will have Miss Lisa Diaz to start us off with a presentation, and then we will go into questions and answers. So now I give you over to Miss Lisa Diaz.
Hi, Latasha. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you to the City of Houston Housing and Community Development. We're here in our 360 Road to Homeownership, and the series for today is Housing Tune-Up. So our mission is to educate, empower, and elevate you on your homeownership journey. And the reason why is we want to educate you so that you have more information to empower yourself to make decisions that will elevate you on your journey. So you hear a lot of information, and it's because we want you to have as much information as you can to make informed decisions. So one of the first questions is the seller responsible if the house doesn't meet code after it's sold? And there's 3 points. Disclosure is key.
Lisa,
so make sure,
yes. Lisa, I'm sorry, but were you putting up your PowerPoint?
You can't see it?
No.
Okay. How about now?
Now we can. Thank you.
That's it. Okay. All righty. So one of the questions is the seller responsible if the house doesn't meet code after it's sold? So say you put an offer in the house, you go through the entire process, and now it becomes yours. So for the seller, the disclosure is key. So they have to prioritize any known issues, right, with the properties to the buyers before closing to prevent disputes. It is our hope that the sellers will be honest and transparent. So they should be upfront about the condition of the property and any potential code violations to maintain trust and to avoid legal issues. They should also consult a professional and seek guidance from a real estate attorney so that they can understand what their rights and obligations are to the buyers once they sell the home. So is the seller responsible to meet code after it's sold? In general, the answer is no, but disclosure is key. So one of the things that you can do when you're purchasing a home, the real estate agent can help you with what's called the seller's disclosure. And in the seller's disclosure, that document will pretty much tell you if there's any known conditions, if there's any flooding issues or different things, that maybe the age of the roof, have they had to replace the roof? Have there been any structural things that done to the home? So disclosure is key. And what you can do when you're purchasing a home is to request a seller's disclosure. So the second question is, how much should I budget for home maintenance annually? And that's a big question because your home is one of your biggest investments that you're going to make in your lifetime. So you want to make sure that you budget for any maintenance issues throughout the year and also too for emergency repairs. So some of the things you want to keep in mind are the big ticket items. So you want to identify any major maintenance expenses like HVAC, roof, plumbing, electrical, exterior maintenance such as painting, siding, and structural repairs. The good news is that we have two professionals from the HVAC and electrical to answer any questions you have regarding that. So any regional considerations. We're in Houston, Texas, and it's hot and it's humid. So some of the things that we want to keep in mind being in Houston is that we're close to the coast. So we want to make sure that we have a budget for hurricane preparedness. Also too for foundation issues, because the soil, the humidity, that tends to bring termites and that can be an issue. So you want to make sure that you budget also too for pest control and for potential foundation issues, because from what I hear, being a real estate agent almost 17 years, we hear it's not when, it's if you might have termite issues and potentially foundation issues. So the biggest thing is to make sure that you budget for these small ticket and big ticket items. So what is the recommended budget? So the budget range can be anywhere between 2 to 4% of the home's value. So if your home's value is about $200,000, you're looking at about $2,000 per year. But again, you want to keep in mind for things such as emergency repairs, because we know in the summer, we're using all that electricity and also the AC is cranked up. So we want to make sure that we budget money because we don't want those big ticket items to put a dent into our everyday expenses. So budgeting is key. The next question, what renovations add the most value to a home? So some of the three different items that add the most value are kitchen upgrades. So when you're renovating the kitchen, it is one of the most valuable home improvements that you can do. And typically, you want to focus on modernizing fixtures, upgrading appliances, and improving functionality. So even if you decide to stay in the home long term, you want to take those things into consideration. The second item is bathroom remodels. Upgrading a bathroom can significantly increase a home's value. And the third thing is curb appeal enhancement. So improving the exterior appearance of the home can have a substantial impact on the value of the home. Things such as landscaping, the exterior painting, the siding, all those different things can enhance the first impression when you walk up to your home. So kitchen upgrades, bathroom remodels, and curb appeal, those are some of the three big ticket items when you're wanting to do some upgrades to the home. And so what do you want to do when you're upgrading? Focus on high value renovations. Things are going to, in the future, give you a high value on your investment. The next question, what renovations devalue a home? So is that even possible? Well, it's your home and you can customize it to how you want. But say at some point, in the future that you would like to sell the home, right? So you want to keep those things into consideration. So the 3 points that we're going to touch over is over personalized improvements, poor quality workmanship, and removing bedrooms or bathrooms. So renovations that cater to very specific tastes or lifestyles, such as highly customized features such as paint colors, unconventional room layout. So say when you walk into a bedroom instead of the living room. So if you switch your layout to your house like that, that might not appeal to a future potential buyer. Or overly themed rooms may devalue the home. Poor quality workmanship. I know sometimes we have a budget that doesn't quite maybe allow us to do those big renovations. So when you're taking those things into consideration, you're a DIYer or you don't have a big budget, make sure that you try to use quality materials when you're doing your renovations, because subpar materials can raise concern about the overall integrity and maintenance of the property, and low quality renovations that are poorly executed can detract from the home's value. And also too, as we mentioned, removing bedrooms or bathrooms and limiting those things to create larger living spaces might not appeal to the next buyer and decrease your market value. So those are some of the things you want to keep in mind, and you want to it's about value adding, not value diminishing for your investment, your home. So, question: should first-time homeowners buy a warranty alongside homeowners insurance? That's something that you want to take into consideration when you're purchasing a home, is to try and get that negotiated in your initial offer, because you can request that the homeowner, the seller, pay for your home warranty. So if you request $500, which your realtor should be able to help you with. So let's say, for example, you request a $500 home warranty, and the home warranty, you go look, the company has one for they come in usually increments of, let's say, silver, bronze, gold, right? And you want the one that the gold is that all the package has all inclusive things, and it's $700. So what you can do is they give you a $500 credit or potentially a $700 credit, but we'll work with the $500 credit, and you pay that overage. So for a year, that home warranty is going to cover you for that first year in your new home. So what does the home warranty do? So it gives you added protection. A home warranty provides additional coverage for systems and appliances not typically covered in your homeowner's insurance, which offers you peace of mind against unexpected repair costs. And we know that first year is going to be one of the most difficult, well, not most difficult, but it might be some time for adjustment because you're moving into your new home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer, because now you're having to be responsible for things you might not have had to do as a tenant. Also, too, budget considerations. So first-time home owners may benefit from the financial predictability of a warranty. So it helps budget for potential maintenance expenses in the early years of homeownership. And I'll give you an example. Say, for example, your dishwasher breaks down, right? And that might be, in general, a $500 repair to replace it, and then maybe another $150 for somebody to come and install it. If you have a warranty in place, it might be you pay yearly for it. So let's say, for example, you got that $700 thing, a $700 warranty, but the call out is only $100. So there, with that $100 call out, you get your dishwasher it's maintained, repaired, excuse me. And then let's say the same year your HVAC system goes out. That might be a several $1,000 repair, but if you have that home warranty in place, that call out should only be about $70 to $100, depending on the warranty that you purchased. So it's definitely something to take into consideration when you're buying a home, especially if you're a first-time home buyer. And third, coverage overlap. So while homeowners insurance primarily covers damages due to unforeseen events like fires and storms, a warranty focuses on repairs and replacements of systems and appliances due to normal wear and tear, which your homeowner's insurance typically doesn't. Plus, the deductible is a lot lower. Like I said, it's more along the lines of $75 to $100 versus a deductible of, say, $2,000 with your homeowner's insurance. So warranty enhances home protection. So does rewiring a house add value? So safety and functionality. So rewiring ensures modern safety standards and supports new technology. So yes, it does. Market appeal. Updated wiring makes the home more attractive and can increase value. So the answer again is yes. Energy efficiency. New wiring can include energy-saving features, reducing utility costs, and appealing to eco-conscious homeowners. So again, the answer is yes, because that will only add value, it can also help you reduce your electricity bill. So safety and efficiency. Next question, can you sell a house that needs rewiring? So say you're the homeowner now and you're considering selling at some point. So again, it's all about disclosure. Be upfront about rewiring that needs to be done to avoid legal issues. Price adjustment. So if it does need rewiring and you know it needs to be rewired, you can reflect that in the list price of the house. And negotiation. What you can do is offer repair credits if you do know that the house needs to be rewired. So most importantly, disclose, and adjust. So thank you for joining us this evening as the first portion of the 360 Road to Homeownership. So the key points to take away is to budget wisely, renovate with purpose, and sell with honesty if you decide to do that. So embrace the journey and cherish the home that you're creating. Thank you, Latasha, and thank you for joining us for this first portion of the series.
Awesome, awesome. I hope you all got a lot. She went over a lot in a little bit of time. However, I want someone to tell me, what is the main renovation that she stated in her presentation that adds value to the home? So you can put your answer in the chat for me. What is the number one thing that she stated that will add value to your home? I see we have, all right, Miss Denise said kitchen. All right, Miss Denise, you put a check, because that is correct. And whoever else is typing, Pam said bathroom. That was one of the ones that she stated, but the number one was kitchen. So make sure you understand that. Now, Lisa, you talked about painting. One scenario I use all the time, because some of us are colorful people. If we decide that maybe after 5 years you decide that you want to sell your home, but before that you decide to paint like your rooms different colors, is that a good idea to do that if you're potentially wanting to sell?
The answer is unequivocally yes. And the reason why I say that is because I've had several sellers that if with the excuse me, the painting that they use, again, you want to customize your home. That's what makes you feel most happy when you walk in. It's like, say you're very colorful and you like custom colors. That's great. But when you're selling a home, what you want to do is, what I tend to advise them is that we go and look for the trend that's going on for that particular year. So we'll go to, I'll look at the builders, what they're using, right? Because that's going to appeal to the overall customer base. So what that small investment, what I've had in my experience for the sellers is that small investment has more, as every single time, yielded them a $5,000 to $10,000 plus in the return. And that's just with paint. No kidding, because when they walk in, they smell that new paint smell, and that kind of detracts their mind from saying, okay, well, I don't have to paint, right? That's one less thing that I have to do. And then they tend to start looking at other things. So definitely, I would highly recommend that if you can, to make that investment and paint your house whatever the trend color is for that particular year you're selling. And more often than not, you're going to see a return in your minimal investment.
All right, great answer. So we're going to stay on different signs of when there's things that need to be done. I'm going to go to Mr. Patrick at this time, and I want to ask you, what are some of the signs that common signs you may have when you have an electrical issue?
Some of the common signs that you have an electrical issue, there are some issues that may be small and some issues that may be big. You may have a small issue as a plug doesn't work, or it may be loose, it sparks when you plug something into it or something like that. That's an indication that plug may be loose or the plug may be going bad. When you indicated that you may have a larger issue, maybe your lights are dimming. When you turn on certain things in your house or the microwave or something, your lights are dimming. That's an indication that you may not be getting enough power to your home. You may need to have it checked out by somebody to see why the power is not holding when you have to pull small appliances which pull a lot of electricity.
Oh, okay. All right. And now I'm going to move on to Marvin, and I'm going to ask you pretty much the same question. What are some of the typical HVAC problems that you may notice when it's time to do some kind of renovation or some kind of upgrade?
Yes, typically it's not going to keep up. You may set your thermostat on 75 and you notice it's more like 80 degrees or 78. It's not really running efficiently. You notice a high electricity bill, higher than normal, especially in the summer months. It's an indication that your compressor is pulling too many amps. So these are some of the telltale signs that, it's time to upgrade your system.
Right. So Marvin, I'm gonna stay with you since you touch bases on the summer months. I know summertime come, and it seems like we always have your this particular series right when we knocking on summer, because we're thinking about these high light bills, um and what is the temperature that we should put our thermostat on to maintain a decent light bill. So what is your advice when it comes down to what temperature should we keep our thermostat on going into these summer months?
Well, if you want to be energy efficient, you're looking about 78 degrees.
Mm-hmm.
But there again, we're in Houston, Texas in the summertime. That's really not an option for most people. So it's all about your comfort, and what you're willing to sacrifice for that, to achieve that comfort. So if you want to keep it at 74, you can keep it at 74. If you want to do 72, 72, but you got to realize that it's going to be a longer run time and you're going to pay for that in the long run. So, but the most efficient, it should be 78 degrees for as far as energy efficiency when you're talking about electricity savings on your electricity bill.
Okay. So 78 degrees. And I hope everyone heard that, because going into these months, the electricity bills tend to go up significantly. So that's a good note to write down on the side. I'm gonna go back to Mr. Patrick. The question that I have for you, Lisa mentioned insurance and warranties. My question would be, is electrical wiring covered by homeowners insurance?
No, like if something goes wrong with your electrical at your home, I wouldn't. I haven't had it. Well, it depends on what happens. So I've had there has been insurance claims for homes when you have major incidents with your electrical, like um, a tree falls on your service and knocks down your electrical service or something like that. That would be like a home insurance claim that you could get on that.
Mm,
Now, for things that happen just normally for normal wear and tear, no, that your home insurance doesn't cover that. But it's more like what the realtor was talking about, the homeowner, the home, what do they call it? The
warranty.
home warranty insurance, the home warranty insurance, where you just pay a fee for the year and then you pay a deductible to have a plumber come out, to have an electrician come out, to have a HVAC guy come out if something happens to your home. Though that's the insurance that you would use for something for normal wear and tear on your appliances or your systems at your house. But your home insurance won't normally cover that unless you have a major incident.
All right. So Marvin, also the same type of question. Would your services be covered by homeowner insurance? And if not, do they offer warranties for services that you all provide?
It's kind of a gray area because with the home warranty, it will cover certain amount of things that happen, but I've dealt with some customers that the warranty just refused, the home warranty company
Mm-hmm.
refused to pay, and they actually filed a claim with the homeowner's insurance, and they paid and they covered it.
Hmm.
Uh, I'm gonna give you an example. Uh, Lightning hit a home and it took out the circuit board and the variable speed motor, and the home warranty company did not want to cover that, but the home insurance did.
Hmm.
So it's kind of with these home warranty companies, some of them are good and some of them will cover, step up and do the right thing. But you have some with any industry that will, try to take advantage of individuals.
Hmm.
Sir, can you give us an idea of about how much that type of repair would cost this unexpected event, like having to replace that circuit board due to a lightning strike?
It depends on the brand. It depends on the what type of system you have, what type of circuit board you have. I've seen circuit boards cost anywhere from $80 to I've seen them cost over 1,000. So it kind of varies on what type of system you have. If you have a 26-year high efficiency unit with two-stage everything, it can get pretty pricey. It's
So
something I
my,
can't.
oh, go ahead, Marvin.
No, it's something I can't just say it's going to be this certain amount without actually, you know, the event actually taking place and me being there and getting the pricing for the boards and all that good stuff.
Thank you. That was a great answer.
So Lisa, I'm gonna ask you, so with knowing that sometimes the different companies, the warranty companies, even the home insurance, I know the requirement, if you use certain down payment assistance programs, you have to have home insurance. Do you advise a new homeowner to go ahead and purchase a warranty, whether it's for their electricity or their AC? Would you go ahead and advise them to purchase that?
So when you're making the offer, that's something that one of the things that we try to negotiate up front. You definitely, because there is a portion in the actual contract where you can request for the home warranty to be provided by the seller. So I definitely
Mm.
recommend it. Yes, and what the home warranty is, it's comprehensive. So it usually includes the appliances, HVAC, electrical, plumbing, and again, there's stipulations, right? And they usually ask that these things are not already there's already issues with them beforehand, right? But usually, when you get the home warranty, you purchase it when you're closing, the day of closing, and you get that credit. So again, let's say we negotiated a $500 credit to purchase the home warranty, and again, it's actually in the contract. So you submit the request for the home warranty, and then they pay it. So let's say, for example, you choose ABC Home Warranty, right? It's just a company made up. So ABC Home Warranty, and they provide you with your home warranty. And they usually provide pamphlets. And what I typically do is I tell a buyer, if they don't know of a home warranty company, I just provide three that my clients have used in the past, or I ask them to ask maybe somebody that they trust or somebody that they know that have used a home warranty. And then that way they can make an informed decision. They can go to the website, talk to a rep, so they can go over with them all the things that are included and not included, because that's also important. What we might think, oh, well, my dishwasher didn't, the button broke. And they might say, well, we don't cover the buttons, but we might cover the actual plumbing. So I'm just giving an example, right? So it's very, it's wise to actually to go over the information that's located, that's in the pamphlet or on the website, and talk to a rep so that you know what you're purchasing prior to actually making the actual purchase. So I definitely recommend it, and particularly if you're a first-time home buyer, because if you, here, I'll give you an example. As always, like you move in and say, for example, the HVAC goes, that was working when you did the inspection, right? But it just got really hot this summer and you moved in, and now that's a several $1,000s expense. You go try and submit it with your home warranty, like, yep, it's covered. So what might have been, because that's happened to me too. I had a home warranty at one point, and it would have been like a $3,000-4,000 repair, and it was just a deductible. Back then, when I had it, was only a $50 deductible. So, so if you take that, $50, several $1,000s. So I if you can get that negotiated, I definitely recommend doing that if you can. But if not, I feel like it's always a wise decision, particularly if you're purchasing the home for the first time, because a lot of those things, once you move in that first year, those things are going to tend to pop up that first year you move in. And then
Mm,
throughout the years of you living there, you can maintain. That way, you know, okay, this is in this condition, and you can have expectations versus that first year you don't know. So I recommend it.
all right. Thank you, Lisa, for that
You're welcome.
answer. That is very
Hey,
good to know. Go ahead,
hey, Tasha,
Marvin. Mm-hmm.
I'd just like to piggyback up what Lisa said. It is good to have. It definitely is, but you definitely have to do your research because I have a customer that paid for a home warranty for years, and she wasn't getting the system maintained. So
Mm,
they denied her claim when something happened because he wasn't getting the system maintained on a regular basis. Now, I can't speak for all warranty companies, but like I, like I said, Lisa, I agree with her 100%. It's definitely worth having.
yeah. Yeah, because it's better to have it than not have it. And then down the line, you need it in the long run. So, and I'm glad you mentioned that, Marvin, about making sure you maintain that throughout the time so something big won't happen. But before I get to that part, Lisa, how much do you suggest to your new homeowners to budget for annual maintenance?
So it's usually between 2 to 4%. So again, if the value of your home is 400,000, and then times two, that's about $8,000 in maintenance, right, for the year. So you try to budget that in. That doesn't mean that that's going to happen, right? Especially if you
Mhm.
maintain. So here, the summer months are about to hit. I recommend right now is that you call, like they have that 1 hour service where you can, and we'll let the professional HVAC, we can ask him what the cost is to do that. But I know in the
Mhm.
past I've used that, and it was $100 maintenance. I usually do it in the spring, and I usually do it in the fall to prepare my heater and my AC. And it's $99, right? And then if they need to add a few things, still it comes up to maybe like $150. That way I know up front, okay, this is what's going on with my system. That way I can try to be prepared, knowing up front. But maintenance is always key because when we don't maintain, and little by little, and then it's the big repair, and it costs several $1,000s because usually things, the roof, the HVAC, the electrical, the plumbing, right? So I always suggest, even if you have a chimney, in your house, because that fireplace, excuse me, so which includes a chimney, that's something that could be like $150. You clean it. That way you don't have a fire hazard at some point if you don't clean it. That way you get that yearly thing. So there's things that I highly recommend doing in your spring and fall to prepare, particularly one being your HVAC system. That's something I without question that everyone should do constantly, and change your filters every month. Every month, try to change your filters, because if you don't, all the air pushing through trying to filter puts more wear and tear on your system and could affect your outside unit. I had that happen with a client, and she did that, and she had to replace the entire system because it broke the lines. It did something really, I don't know if there's any other underlying issues, but it came down to the filter, and then I think it was backward or something like that too.
Oh,
So,
wow.
yeah, yeah,
So you got to make
yeah.
sure that you
Put
finding
it in
someone
properly.
that can really work on your stuff and has a reputation of doing the right thing.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna piggyback this to Marvin. You stated about the maintenance, making sure that you do your maintenance. So when should I schedule a maintenance appointment, and what steps throughout the year should be taken to make sure that your AC is healthy?
Uh, in the spring and fall is when you typically want to schedule a checkup, and $99 is not unreasonable. That's fair. Within some companies charge a little less, some companies charge a little more. But you want to get it taken care of in the spring and fall. Uh, Typical issues you want to take care of is, like you said, filters. Make sure you change your filter on a regular basis once a month. Your drain line. You want to get your drain line blown out because you don't want to have ceiling damage with water
Mhm.
leaking on your ceiling. So you want to get that taken care of. You want to get your coils clean. You want to check amp draws. Make sure your compressor's running efficiently. You want to check your contactor because if your contactor is pitted, it can cause the compressor to overamp. These are some of the things that when you get a checkup, the technician is going to check. These
Mhm.
are some of the things that you need a professional to check on a regular basis, at least twice a year.
At least twice a year. So you
Well,
need
well,
to,
I say twice a year. I mean, in the spring for the summer months, and in a fall for the winter months, because
okay.
it's a different issue. You got limit switches in the fall, but I know we do the fall training as well, and so at least twice a year. One for in the spring for the summer, and one in the fall.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that, Marvin. Mr. Patrick, I'm gonna come to you. When do you need a electrical inspection? When should you get that? I know we do an inspection before we go into the home, and most people do not get another inspection. So when do you think that we should get an electrical inspection? And does the inspection include the plumbing system?
Um, no, the only plumbing relation we have maybe to the water heater. If there's a situation to get power to the water heater, other than that, electrical inspection wouldn't cover anything related to the plumbing. As far as most people, like you say, get an inspection before they move into the home.
Mm-hmm.
If they build in a new home, they would have a city inspection as well as a home inspection. So they would have probably quite a few inspections before they moved into the home. Someone
Mm-hmm.
living in the home for a while, we don't do like regular like inspections like Marvin do every year
Mm-hmm.
for your AC. Our systems aren't necessarily designed for us to have to come out every year unless you're
Mm-hmm.
having any kind of issue with power, lights dimming, or any kind of issue with your plugs. At that time, they could check your entire system, or they should check your entire system.
Okay. So what I know we're walking into the hurricane season, and we, especially living in Houston, you never know what we're gonna um, have or what is gonna occur. But if you have after a hurricane, you have a lot of electrical issues that you're speaking of. Should you immediately call a person to come in and inspect it at that time, such as if you notice that you have flashing lights or the dimming of the lights, would you encourage someone, especially older people, because we have different age range on here? So would you encourage them to get an inspection at that time?
Yeah, after storms, there's that could be damage to your system due to fallen trees, and if there's water that gets into your home or anything like that. So I would suggest someone having someone come out and check and make sure that everything is working right, especially if you get water in your home. Water in your home before you try to just start plugging things back in before, if your lights have been out and water's been in your home, you definitely need to get it checked out before you go back in and just start plugging things back up and thinking everything is going to be fine, because
Okay.
it may be still some water in there. You may get electrocuted that way because the water may be still sitting in the walls, even though the water may be going from your site, but it may be still damp inside the walls. So I would suggest definitely get someone to check it out. Also for hurricanes, we have a lot of hurricanes down here in Houston. So I also suggest for people, I don't know for those moving in, but what people are doing now, they have solar and they have the battery
Mm-hmm.
backups. A lot of people are getting solar and the battery
Mm-hmm.
backups. That's one way to get around, because sometimes your lights will be out until the city comes around and get the poles back up and
Mm-hmm.
and the area back with power. The other thing people are using, if they don't have solar, they're getting generators like a 22 kW generator, a small generator that they're putting on outside of their home, and it's like a gas generator. So if your electricity is out, the gas is still usually working, and you can still power your home, and everything will work in your home still. So those are two suggestions for hurricane seasons when the power goes out. Those are backup systems that people are using, so their power is not out at their homes.
Okay. Okay. That is some good information, especially that we're going into the hurricane season less probably a month from now. Um, also, the question that I have for you, speaking of saving, trying to save money, we all can use a little extra money in our pockets. But my question to you is, what appliances in your home use the most electricity?
The appliances in your home that use the most electricity are usually the things that have heating elements in them. So
Mm,
that would be your microwave, your toaster, your hair dryer, your furnace, things like that has to heat up real quick. Those require the most power in your home.
okay. So, do you advise, like, because I'm bad at this, I must admit, leaving things on and leaving things plugged up. You're in the rush in the morning, and sometimes you can leave a lot of things in the morning plugged up. Do you advise that a person should unplug all those little small appliances?
I would say if they're like if they're like lights on them or something like that. Like sometimes you have a toaster that doesn't have any any extra lights on it. We know it's not working when you're on. Like if it has the red light on when it's on, anything like that is drawing power. So if you have a lot of those things around, so it does add up. But if there's just like, for instance, a fan that's off, isn't drawing any power because there's no lights or anything connected to that. So
Mhm.
that's what I would suggest. Anything like with lights and stuff like that is drawing power. And if you have too many of those, it can add up to drawing a little power. But it's minimal, but it is power.
Okay. Okay. Marvin, my question to you, like I said, in the morning you have the AC on. Is it best to leave, and I'm talking about it in the sense of saving money, is it best to leave the AC on all day at 78, or turning it off?
You should ultimately turn it off. Excuse me, leave it at 78. I'm sorry. Because when you turn it completely off, you're coming home to a hot house.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to take some time for that to cool off. And it's going, people think, okay, I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna save a little money. But it's drawing once you come home and it's drawing a lot, it's gonna take a lot to cool that space down to where you comfortable. So, like I said, 78, maybe 80, or you could possibly get a Wi-Fi thermostat. They have a lot of those out now. You get install a programmable thermostat where you could have it come on certain times of the day throughout the day, so it can not completely be totally off all day. So
Mm-hmm.
to prevent that big draw for when you come home, house is hot and you trying to cool it off in one big spell. That's really not efficient.
So the Wi-Fi thermostat, is that an expensive appliance, or would you have to get someone to install that?
Well, it's not expensive. Now, if you a gadget guy, a girl, I've had homeowners install them. I mean, I've actually have homeowners that blew transformers trying to install them as well.
Oh, Lord.
But when I say transformers, I mean internally in the system. But
Mm-hmm.
it's not expensive. Nest makes a Wi-Fi thermostat. This Honeywell makes some Wi-Fi. Pretty much, there are different brands of Wi-Fi thermostats out there, but it's not expensive, Paris. You're looking about a decent one, $120 or something like that. But you could get a programmable thermostat that's actually a little cheaper, like about $60, and you could set it. You just don't have the Wi-Fi, capabilities, but you could actually set it for certain times of the day to come off and go on, stuff like that. It's a little cheaper purchase.
Okay. Okay. Well, thank you for that. That's a good idea for someone that is very conscious about their AC. And I'm bad like that. I turn the AC off and then it has to cool up. So that's a good appliance to have if that's something you want to invest in.
Well, let me ask you a
And
question, Tasha. Let me ask you a question. How long does it take for your house to cool off when you come home?
typically, to get it to where I'm comfortable, maybe by 45 minutes.
Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's
Yeah,
not bad. So
it takes
I've
a
had
little
some
minute.
cases. I've had some cases where people tell me it takes 2 to 3 hours to get it to back to where they're comfortable,
Oh,
and that's
wow.
not a good thing.
Would that be a sign of something is wrong with the AC, or maybe it hasn't, the ducts haven't been cleaned? Is that something that you need to look into?
Not necessarily. It's just it could just be the home, the space, how big a space you have. Is the unit size accordingly to the space? You know,
Mm,
is it size, the right size unit for it? Uh, Dirty filters, you could have a heat load. You could be trying to come home and cook right away. You got the oven on.
mm.
A lot of variables go into play.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, thank you for that. I don't have any other questions that I have, but now I'm going to allow anyone that would like to release their mic. You can ask any questions that you have at this time. All right. I don't think we have any questions, not even in the chat. Um, so what I'm going to do now is give each presenter or panelist a opportunity to do a takeaway. Just say anything that maybe we didn't mention that you feel the need to tell our audience about, just one takeaway from today's event. So I'm going to say ladies first. So I'm going to go to Lisa, and you can provide that at this time.
Thanks again. So one of the things that I would definitely recommend is to try as much as you can to budget, even if it's $1,000, if you can just put at least $100 away, if you can, per month, if you can, to do that, because it's going to happen at some point. That way, you're not letting that repair linger. Say, for example, if there's a leak, so then you just turn it off and you don't deal with it, or you let it to continue to drip. If you let it continue to drip, and then it's dripping behind the wall, and it's going to create a much bigger problem. It could be mold. You have to redo the sheetrock. You might have to do some of the framing of the house. So one of the things that I definitely recommend, if you can, is to try and budget as much as you can for maintenance costs per year, even if it's just a couple of bucks per month. Try to do that. The other thing is that if you do any renovations to your house, try to use quality materials. And then also too, if you're not a DIYer, then that you make sure that you hire somebody that's reputable, that's not going to run off with your money, right? And that also has a history of doing quality work. And I'll give you an example. And I'm really big on examples, so you know that these things do happen, so that it prevents you from putting yourself in those same positions. So a friend of mine, I had purchased a house, and what they did is that the homeowner did not disclose that they did a structural repair in the house. So once they moved in, then they noticed that the second floor was starting to cave in. The doors wouldn't close. And what happened is that they moved some walls in the kitchen below and they removed a structural beam, right? So there was no support. So that bedroom, which was one of her children, could have fallen straight down and hurt the child, hurt who was ever in the kitchen. So make sure, because if that person knew anything about construction, they would have known not to remove what's called a load bearing beam, right? So make sure that if you do repairs, make sure that you try to use quality materials, because this is your home. This is where you rest. This is where you live. This is where you are every day. And then if not, make sure that you hire somebody with reputable services and then also has knowledge in the industry, because that is a major error that could cost you longer in the long term. So, and then I guess pretty much those are my two big things is to, and the third thing, this would be my third thing too, is to make sure to maintain as much as you can. Budget the renovations, do it with quality materials and or with somebody who has quality workmanship. And third, to maintain your home. That way, those big costs aren't big. You do them in little chunks at a time. And what HVAC is one of the biggest things I can recommend that you do is to service it in the spring and the fall. In the spring for your AC, and in the fall for your heater. So maintain your house as you go throughout your time living there. That's all.
All right, Lisa. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to move on to Patrick. Last little nuggets that you would like to share?
In the terms of cost savings, what I've found for people that may have children or people that may forget to leave lights on, there are switches that have sensors in them that you can buy. That when someone leaves the room, the light goes off automatically if no one is in the room moving around. So in case someone leaves the room, or even when you walk in the room, the light will automatically come on. So those are things that you can use if you have kids or a person that often leave lights on. Another thing that I've found to save a little money in the summertime, utilizing ceiling fans. Like Marvin says, put your air on about 78. But if you put a ceiling fan on, you could probably take it to about 79 or 80 with the ceiling fan on, and then when you come home, it wouldn't be as bad as well. So those are a couple of things I would tell people about saving money as far as the electrical. And if you're having any issues with any plugs or any lights or anything, get a reputable professional, because that's not something that you want to, because electrical can start fires. You don't want a plug that's sparking, when you're plugging something in. If something is sparking when you plug it in, you need to have somebody look at that and get it straight, because what's going to happen is going to keep sparking until it catches a fire. So keep that in mind if you have something that's sparking when you're plugging in, and loose plugs and stuff. But those will be my tips.
All right. Thank you so much. Last but not least, Marvin, your takeaway nuggets.
Well, I want to stress maintenance. Maintenance. I can't stress that enough. Not just getting your units checked out twice a year, but as a homeowner, you could go out there when you're cutting your grass. Make sure your AC is turned off so it won't suck in the grass and the dirt when it kicks up by the lawnmower. Turn the unit off. Take a water hose and not with high pressure, just light pressure, just kind of penetrate your fins to blow what dirt out of there off. Do that, every 2 or 3 months. If you're up to it, go in the attic. Pour a little Clorox down your blowout in the attic if you're up to it. These are things, along with getting your unit inspected, annually, that the homeowner could do on their own. And if something happens, get you somebody that you can trust, that won't come out to try to sell you something. They won't see dollar signs and try to sell you a new unit, or sell you something you don't need. Just even that being said, when you're doing the maintenance and you're calling someone out for just a maintenance inspection, You got some guys out there will try to sell you something that you really don't need and take advantage of you. Just do your research when you're trying to locate AC companies. That's pretty much it.
All right, all right. And I have a few nuggets that I would like to share. Um, Being a homeowner, you have to understand that this responsibility is great. The purpose of us, HCD, putting on the 360 Road to Home Ownership is for you all to understand the responsibility that comes with being a homeowner. Um, Outside of, once you get in the home, there's a responsibility that you have to have. Each session that we have had, beginning with Credit 101, it is to help you to prepare your finances to become a homeowner. The second session, Building the Perfect Team, is for you to get the financial, the business professionals that you can trust with your needs and what you desire and what is your dream for it to manifest. You need certain people in your corner. The third session was about things, what to expect after you get in the home, or not even after you get in the home, but right before you make that decision. You need to understand there are certain things that you have to contemplate. You have taxes, you have home insurance. We spoke on it today. The difference between regular homeowner insurance and flood insurance. These are things that you need to know about. For those of you that, like myself, you have HOA dues, that you have to put that in the equation of how much you need to set aside for that. You also have to have maintenance for your lawn. And one thing that I did not mention that is very important is security around your home. We are in an area where people are doing a lot of things and they are doing different scams. They are coming up to your door trying to get in your home. You need security around your home, lighting around your home so you can feel protected in your home. It's not like having a home and you don't feel protected. So these are things that you need to know. And last but not least, tonight, maintenance. Things that we, after we get in the home, we're so excited about the home, but we have to maintain the home. We have to understand that there's maintenance that goes with it, not only for yourself, but also for your kids, for your family. You have to, they have a part in this too. They have a part in the dream. So my thing is, I want you to be able to make the best decision for you and your family. And that is why we put on events and workshops like this. So I want to thank everyone that participated from session one to today. Credit Coalition, we had Chase Bank, we had Harris County Appraisal, we have Xphere Insurance, we have today Warriors Electric, we have Certified Comfort. I thank all of you for taking out your time to educate us about what it is to be a homeowner. And we appreciate it. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And I thank you all. We're going to move forward into the upcoming events. I'm going to put this up real quick so Miss Dejanay Jones can come back and give us the information for the upcoming events. And I want you all to hear about this event. So please, if you have any questions, please take out the time to put it in the chat. I do not mind staying a little bit longer to talk to you more about it. So now I present to you Miss Dejanay Jones.
Thank you, Latasha. Our next upcoming 360 Road to Home Ownership Resource Fair will be held on May 7th, 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. And you are able to register for that on today on our site. Um, I'm not sure if we have our lunch and learn on here for the upcoming events as well, but we will have a lunch and learn on this Friday. That's going to be at 11 a.m. And this is going to be for Harris County exemptions and protesting property taxes. You're also able to register for that as well on our site under our calendar of events.
All right. Thank you, Deja. And please forgive me. I forgot to put the lunch and learn, but that is a webinar that we have third Friday of each month. Miss Jones is coordinates those events, and this one that will be happening on this Friday coming up at 11 a.m. is awesome. If you want to know more about taxes, exemptions, the speaker that usually speaks for us for the 360 will be that presenter as well. If you have questions about taxes, she is the person to ask. So thank you once again, Dejanay, for that, for including that. And what I have to say is thank you. Thank you again from the entire communication and outreach division, as well as my administrative manager, Ms. Onika Porter. I thank you for being here, and I look forward to seeing you on May 7th. If you are looking to be a homeowner, we will be bringing all several different down payment assistance programs. If the city of Houston is not where you want to be, even though we want you in the city, there is other opportunities out there. So there is other opportunities for you to get more information. So once again, we thank you for your time, and you all have a blessed day, night, and weekend. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Latasha. Thank you.
You're welcome, Lisa. Thank you.
For those that are still on and asking for the link, we'll drop them in the chat in just a second.
Thank you, Deja. Mr. Garrett, if you're still on, Lisa, thank you.